everyone, and welcome to your weekly woo. This week we pulled electric eel and dolphin. So right away, I just want to speak about this element of water that we have coming in so strong here. But each of these animals are quite unique in that, you know, the eel, although this electric eel is in water, it also has this element of electricity, right? Of almost like fire. So interesting to just note, and we'll get into its meaning in a second. But also dolphin, it is both a sea creature and a mammal, and it represents this duality in all circumstances. So whatever this is speaking to in your life, it's asking you, it's like asking you to see both sides, or to see that, like, you know, as I've gotten older, one of the things about life that I have found frustrating and also really beautiful is that you can have something so miraculous going on in your life, and yet there may be other circumstances that are lackluster and difficult to deal with. It's like it's not going to be all roses and sweetness. There's these other elements too that actually help us grow and expand. So dolphin is asking you to see that, say perhaps if you're feeling a bit negative and you're looking at circumstances in your life with that idea of glass half empty, that there is actually beauty available for you. There is vibrations of abundance and gratitude available for you if you just align with it. Now, dolphin is also an invitation to work with the breath, right? The dolphin's breath, the pattern of breathing that it has when we take it on as humans in a meditative state as breathwork practice, you can have like some major epiphanies, you know, breathwork being akin to any sort of altered state, psychedelic understanding, awareness. Breath can do this. So the element of the breath work that dolphin suggests to us is the holding of the breath and then the quick releasing of air. So I don't know if you guys know anything about Wim Hof. This would be a good week to like look into some breath work and some teachers who specifically, you know, are about that kind of work, and what is, you know, to create a new pattern of self-care around breath work. Now, electric eel, bring your ideas to life. And this is really the message of this week, that since Jupiter is now gone retrograde, it's like Jupiter is always about expansion, and it could expand negative things and good things, but it's also the gift giver. Like, we associate Jupiter as sort of like a Santa Claus energy, the good father. And so right now, as it's going retrograde, there could be something that's coming back, a connection, a job, an idea. And we got this week 3 flowers that came out of this new deck I'm working with. We got jasmine, which is the keyword success, poinsettia, keyword purpose, and sacred blue lily, keyword rebirth. So there's something rebirthing, something that you may have been thinking about at the beginning of the year, or an opportunity that went away that's coming back, and it will be successful. It's also, I feel like this week we're being called to rebirth our purpose. Like, why are you here? What is it you want to do? What is your end goal this lifetime? What is it that you want to influence in the world? And we got the archetype card we pulled this week was warrior. Now, we associate warrior, right? Fighting, war. But this is really, like, for me, this is the card of Mars. Mars is in Virgo right now. Virgo being the archetype of, you know, the Vestal Virgin, being of service, the healer. It's also an earth sign. So there's, you know, this is what it makes me think of. Do you have like a manifesto, like maybe like an oath, like what is your purpose and can you put it into words? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So when we have Mars in a Mercury ruled sign, writing, speaking, reading, communicating is all heightened and very important and can really give us a direction for our will and our purpose. So what's your statement, your overarching intention, and can you put it into words? And of course it can change, but even just to sit down and try to think of what is that mission statement for maybe just for this week, if you don't want to do this long-term mission statement yet, what's your mission statement for the week or the month or the rest of this year or the next 2 years or 5 years? It's a good week to do all of that because we're leading up to a new moon on Sunday, and it's in the sign of Leo, and it is a very auspicious new moon. I feel like it's a great time to, as we lead up to it, because we'll be in that dark moon phase, those few days before the new moon, when it's a time to let go and release. And this idea of where purpose and success go hand in hand, because there's been this rebirthing. If we look at the blue lily, this is like the lotus archetype, where we use the muck and the mud at the bottom of the river or the pond to nourish us into a beautiful blossom of exquisite rarity and beauty. And this leads me to also, so much of what has happened to us in the past. Now we've had, to fight for survival or fight for our truths. And if you've experienced trauma, you literally fight for your life in many cases. And we can look at our past as this kind of burden and chain, right? Ball and chain. Or we can view our past as what nourishes us, like the mud and the muck. And this idea of the past and all those circumstances, experiences, the pain, the grief, whatever, that being a battery that we now use to enact this manifesto, this purpose, this creed, this vision. Because we have Uranus, it's going to be very active in this new moon, and it's active now, and it's active all year because Saturn is square Uranus. The epiphanies, the aha moments, and Electric Eel speaks to this. It says you are going to be getting some fantastic ideas, and it maybe ideas you had in the past that are coming back, that you're now able to act on now, that maybe you have the resources for them now, maybe you have the connections for them now, and you can move forward with them. But also, I want to encourage you guys to, on your cell phones, there's that, the app, the Notes app, but also, if you can have a little pad of paper that you carry around with you, or some Post-it notes, where when these ideas come, because we have this Mars in Virgo, you can put them into writing, whether that's to type it on your notes, on your phone, or to actually write it out. And I would encourage this week to write with pen or pencil as much as you can, especially with this new moon, to write down in present tense what it is you're wanting to manifest. So it's not like, say you want a new car. So it's not like I want a new car. That's not what you would write. You would write, I love my new car. It makes me feel ... I love being in my new car. I'm, you write as if it's already the experience you're having. And this tag teams the universe, because as you're feeling those emotions, that's a frequency you're sending out that the universe has to mirror. But also as you're writing it, your word is your wand. What we write, what we speak, quickly comes into manifestation. So this is a great week to be working with that, especially, after that new moon is exact on Sunday. Great time to work with writing the manifesto, the intentions, this rebirth of your purpose. And also, I think it's a great week when we have, this energy of Leo season. And we're going into harvest time, to think about what are you harvesting and what is sustaining you. And when we look at the fall does look to be intense, and things are getting more intense. So, where do you go to vent? Where are you being nourished? Are you being well nourished? And this is both, because we have this Virgo energy happening, this is like nourishment on a physical level, yes, but also like, what are you what are you feeding your brain? And this brings me back to dolphin spirit, where things are very polarized, right? They have been for quite some time. And dolphin spirit says, there is this and there is that. And there's two sides to every story. And that truth is their truth, and you have your truth, and sometimes it's both. And can you hold that idea of both sides? And even like in situations where it may not be about you and another person, but you can hold two opinions. There's lots of things right now going on where we're getting a certain amount of information that says one thing, and then a whole nother batch of information that says the opposite. And what kind of space do we hold in a society where it's really difficult to get facts? And it's like people are kind of picking and choosing what is a fact anymore. Dolphin is like, can you stay playful and curious in this kind of environment? And, I've spoken about this before, that just because there is change, rapid force change, and chaos in the world, and so much fear of death, right? So much fear of death, and so much fear of losing freedom. And can you still cultivate the frequency of playfulness and curiosity and joie de vivre? Can you still be madly in love with existence, even when it's tumultuous and chaotic and you don't know what the future holds? This is the invitation that Dolphin is giving us. And once we do that, we open up to this frequency, this electric, higher frequency that's been coming in for quite some time. And all we have to do is raise our vibration to align with it, where then we're getting these ideas and we're getting, clear direction on what is the next best step. As I've said before, right now, it's like our future path is only lit by candlelight right now. We're not supposed to see that far into the future right now, because we're supposed to be cultivating this total faith and trust in the higher plan. And this is most difficult. But there's something that these two animals this week are showing us, that it is made less difficult when we're playful and we're curious and we're not attached to any one thing. It's that attachment to this is the way and this is right that is going to keep us stuck right now, and it's going to blind us to that next best step. And it would cut off this electric, high vibrational Uranian energy that's coming in to give us these epiphanies of how do we cultivate the new earth? How do we cultivate a better world for all of us? How do we cultivate purpose and success in times of great change? So what are you allowing to nourish you? And can you turn these, the past hurts and pains, disappointments, regrets, remorse, can you turn that into food without any guilt or judgment or shame? It is what it is. How are you going to use it? Because it's yours. It's your battery. It's your muck. It's your fertilizer. And you are this exquisite, rare blue lily. And look, it's got the pyramid behind it. So this also just brings me, and I just want to I only have a few seconds because I want to make sure this can post on Instagram as full video. What are you bringing in from the past that you can create better now in the present moment? Think on that this week. Thank you all so much for viewing.